Mr. Secretary, would you please do the roll call?
Yes, sir. Mr. B.J. Farrow is absent. Dean Hills, chair.
Here.
And Joe Marinaccio is absent. And these are the 3, 4. Susan Peck is absent. And Doug Stebbins.
Present.
And B.J. Farrow. Oh, we called him Dan Thayer.
Here.
Present. And Andy Rocket, present.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, for the new business, we have
You can call me, but I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ancillary personnel, Williams, come. Sorry, Ralph. Ralph Williams, present.
Sub it in the bench.
Okay, we'll get on to new business. Secretary Rocket, would you please read the legal notice into the record, please?
Yes, sir. That's number ZBA 22-001, Howard and Anna Fleischman, 117 Dirty Road, Summers, seeking a variance from section 214-3.4 of the Summers Code concerning side yard setback requirement of 25 feet to construct an attached 24-foot by 28-foot garage 20 feet from the side property line in the ATAC-1 residential zone.
Very good, thank you. Just let the record note that Ralph Williams will be voting tonight as an alternate member. And we have the applicant. You're Howard?
Yes.
Howard Fleischman?
Yes.
Okay, very good. You're welcome to give your presentation. The first thing I need would be proof of abutters, the note that you sent the notices.
Okay. I brought.
Yeah, it's just a receipt from the postal
Yeah, I
office
got
or
those.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, we just need to have proof of that.
Sure. As far as presentation.
Yes.
I can do that for you, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just need, I need proof of abutters. That's all.
You need to have
Yeah.
the physical receipt.
Yeah. Hang on one second. We got to get those receipts.
Oh, that's fine.
Trying to keep everything together.
All right. Thank you.
Couple more coming.
Yeah, I think those are your feet, sir.
If you're giving the present, if you could just state your name and
Yep.
address for the record, please.
Absolutely. I'm Dave Tulloch, T Square Builders. I represent the Fleischmans. I will be building the project for them.
Thank you.
So what it is, it's not completely that they need the 5-foot variance. What it is, they need 9 inches to do what they need to do. Jennifer Roy had recommended that because of wiggle room, and also, one surveyor says one thing, one surveyor says another. She says it was per her and Jay Usry from J.R. Russo's that did the actual surveying here. They went through it, and we really needed it was 6 to 9 inches that we needed really over there. We already, in my map, this one, you guys have it. I think you have it there to review, and unfortunately the one I have was just a blown up copy, but you'll see on there, you see that back corner. We already pulled the addition forward on it to try and, from the original survey that was on this property back, was it in the 90s, 95, I believe?
95, I think.
I think it was 95.
It was in the mid-90s.
We scaled, and Jennifer and I did this almost back at the point where Fleischmans had asked if they could do this addition, or wanted to do this addition. We scaled it off of it, and we thought by moving this forward, as you can see like in the first picture here, it's very, very close. But once, again, per her request, we got J.R. Russo involved to verify the property. The hardship here is, and that's where this came into, the hardship here is that on the opposite side of the property, there's quite a bit of wetlands. There's 5 acres?
5 acres, not all of it's wetlands, but we have most of it's a farm land.
Right, and this back portion here is high and dry, but this portion, I think you guys have the map there too. This portion here, there is what divides the property essentially is a
sliver of wetlands.
That comes right up through. So when this house was built back in the day, it was shoved up to that corner because of the wetlands there. So we've been through wetlands. They got the wetlands approval because they are replacing the existing deck on the back left corner with a little bit of a dog leg that goes around the house for a little reading area for his wife. But with this addition here, what it does is it gives him, which he currently does not have a garage, it gives him a 2-car garage, front-loading garage, and additional bedrooms above. So with that, what it does is, like I said, it encroaches. I mean, I did bring my glasses for an absolute reason here. Yeah, they're showing this as 24 feet. I think it's at 6 inches.
It's a 6.
Or 0.6, I think it is. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's really, it's about a half a foot that he really needs. The variance that they said, and again, this is on the recommendations from Jennifer and J.R. Russo, or Jay Usury at J.R. Russo's, was to request a 5-foot variance so that there's a little bit of leeway for wiggle room here. It's not that they're expanding this or anything else, but it was just, and I guess the way I gathered it from their advice was it was more so just in case somebody's calculations and measurements are off.
But you're not building a 28 by 28.
No. The garage is 24 feet wide and it's 28 feet deep.
Okay.
But it's not, no, we're not expanding it. That's already set in stone. We're already under contract for this addition right here. The next step after whether, graced by the approval of this would be to apply for the permit. He finishes his banking and everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah, if we did if we grant the variance, it would
That's
be
what I
based
mean.
on the
Yep.
legal record, which say it's 24 by 28.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this was so close before because even the design, like I said, when he first called me, the first thing I typically do is I go see Jennifer. First of all, because she's very knowledgeable and she's good to work with, but also, that's usually the first stepping stone is to find out if it meets zoning. I can handle the building side of it, but the zoning side is, out of my wheelhouse. So in a nutshell, that's what the request is in for. It's been through all the other departments. I've already gotten like kind of the seal of approval from everybody else. But with this, once Jay got out there and did the survey on this, we found that hiccup, even though it looked like on the original map we had a foot on our side and benefit us. But once he did it, once he verified the lines, he's like, we need like 9 inches, I think is what he came up with.
Do you know when the house was originally built?
78.
78, so that's predating. The house does predate our existing zoning regulations.
Okay.
Let the record reflect that, and let the record reflect it as a conforming lot.
I guess that's about all I have for you, unless you have questions.
Dave, how do you spell your last name?
Tullock. It's T as in Tom, U-L-L-O-C-K.
Thank you.
Sure.
Just out of curiosity, I don't see it obvious, probably. What would be the problem with being 23 by 28?
Well, that was, I mean, we toyed with changing it and stretching things and moving things, but in my world, when you do things, when you cut things down, you're just throwing out lumber. If the customers call me and they want to build a 15 by 18 room or something like that for that purpose also. Also, once you do that, once they narrow it, makes it tough for getting 2 cars side by side in that garage. Like I call it my T-square minimum, is a 24 by 24 garage because we all drive vehicles like you
It's
and
pretty standard.
You know what I mean? So that's the reason we drew it out. We pulled it as far forward as we could on that corner. That's why you see it coming out. Change the roof lines. It also gives a curb appeal, for more my liking. But yeah, that is really why.
Okay.
And it's also because upstairs we are, in order to get into the second floor of this addition, we're taking the front bedroom that's currently his daughter's bedroom, taking part of that and turning it into a bathroom, making it a hallway that connects to the upstairs, the rest of this, and then we move the daughters who are sharing a room now into 2 bedrooms out above this living space.
So right now we have 4 kids. We have 4 girls in 1 bedroom.
We did that.
What ages?
God bless you.
Well, my
One-
youngest just
Still got
turned
hair.
4 today, but it goes from 4 to 10.
Yeah.
And the 4 of them are in the same bedroom, which is where this project came because my wife and I were like, we need some space. Our oldest is actually starting college next year. He shares a room with his 8-year-old brother. So part of the layout was also, and the sizing was so we can fit 3 bedrooms over the garage. So they have the space, plus as Dave said, the spacing for the cars underneath. And we did try to talk about other options, but it seemed like from talking to the other departments there was going to be a hiccup elsewhere, that it just seemed like this was going to be the only way to kind of make it work.
The other thing to note, not that it really matters because properties change hands all the time, because they did pursue building out back, or which again that come like you got wetlands crossings and everything else, you got to play that game, but also even moving, changing locations. But directly next door that abuts this on this side is your father-in-law, right?
Right.
There's family there, there's family on the other side of that house. and there's family all around them, so that was really why they wanted to stay put. And about it, right?
I presume your father-in-law is on board with this.
Yes.
Well, he's not here to say he isn't.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm
he's,
curious.
he's actually more excited about the project than we are.
He's been cutting trees down like mad over there, and I give him a lot of
Yeah, I
credit. 'cause
saw
he's been doing it
I
ever
noticed,
since.
I noticed a lot of
Yeah,
down lumber along there.
We were concerned with where those trees are because of the wetlands. We've had a lot of healthy trees uproot and come down.
Yeah.
The trees that we took down, if they fall, they are going to hit my kids' rooms. And that was a big concern of ours. And actually, the trees that were all marked off that we took down, when wetlands came out to survey, they were all tagged, so she saw everything that we were going to do.
Okay.
You know, so that was it. Yeah, it was just now a matter of getting all that wood out of there. But our concern was, you know, some of those trees in the middle had ant problems for years, so I can only imagine that they were going to be rotted out in the middle. And then those things collapse and it hits my kid's room, so God knows what happens. Or if we put this addition on, now it's even a bigger issue because they're closer to the house, so we
Yeah.
need to clean it up a little
And
bit.
when it gets wet like that, they tend, instead of going down, they spread and they
Yep.
blow over in the wind.
Yeah, there's a couple of huge ones still laying on the side.
Right, yeah.
There's a bunch along the back side, all along the property. And my wife was actually born in the house, and she grew up on the road, so
Yeah.
she's never seen it like this.
Right.
So I mean, it started making us nervous over the last few years
yeah.
with all the crazy weather we've been
Now, I want to know is the skating rink still in the back there?
having. Yeah, they have a pond yacht.
Why would you need 5 feet? I mean, that's a fair amount.
That was based on Jennifer's and Jay Usury's recommendation. They're the ones that literally wrote this up. They wanted wiggle room, is what they were asking for. That's all. It's not, I mean, like I said, we're already under contract for the size of the addition. We're not changing that. And it wouldn't, and again, like I said, my legitimate answer to this, I don't know. It was based on Jennifer and
Right,
Jay's
okay.
recommendation.
But you can do it accurate enough.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to what was there before from the survey in '95, our addition should have fit.
Right.
Based on scale off of a full-size map, I scaled the whole thing and it should have fit. And we should have had, I thought, about a foot to spare, wiggle room on all that. You know, so they're on this side of it now. They're like, all right, well, you know, So the answer to that really is I don't know, and it was really based on their recommendation just to have some wiggle room. It's not getting bigger. It's not going to punish it bigger. Lumber prices are ridiculous, but you know that's what it was
Let's say it's
based on.
another gutter.
The original idea was we were just going to extend it straight out from the house. And Jennifer first brought up the variance issue. So she was like, you need to come up with that. And when I first talked to Dave, he said, okay, this plan we should need to go in front of the zoning board. So it was kind of a shock to us that now we have to be here because of what ended up being from the 9 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, because the original map that I have that I got from the town, which I think I have in here, if I have it folded up still, this one here, this is what his original map was. Because this isn't the new J one here. I should say Jared Russo to be official. But oh my goodness. We scaled this one off, Jennifer and I in the office, and that's where we came out with these pinpoints. Based on coming straight off the end, we thought we had 24 feet in this back corner with a little bit of wiggle room. So when I designed the addition with them, I'm like, well, we pull this forward. It also helped keep a bedroom window off the end, and it just worked for layout. Also gave the house a little curb appeal, so it doesn't end up 60-something, crazy length, look like an apartment building. So based on that, this started with Jennifer and Howard and I going over a plan, and started with this thing, thinking we could just go off the end, go straight out, get our 24 feet simple. But then we moved it forward for that wiggle room because, again, I mean, this thing was done back in
74, 72?
This survey was in '92. This survey, this one was done back because they actually surveyed and delineated the wetlands. All this had been delineated, and they had a proposal on an additional building lot. This was never subdivided back here. This was left alone because it was family property. So that was it. And that's where, between Joanna and Jennifer, that's where they came into, like, we pursued the idea of off the other end, but they all felt, there's less impact to anything and anybody really for going this direction, especially on their current use of it and the neighbor use of it, family use, whatever. But So that's really how this all came about.
Any further questions? All right, we're going to close the public hearing and move into our public hearing discussion decision. May I have a motion to approve application number ZBA 22-001, Howard and Anna Fleischman, 117 Durkee Road, Summers, seeking a variance from section 214-3.4 of the Summers Code concerning side yard setback requirement of 25 feet to construct an attached 24-foot by 28-foot garage 20 feet from the side property line in the A1 residential zone.
So moved.
Second that.
Discussion?
Yeah, I have my questions answered.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Abstain? No abstain. Passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No problem. So I will get in contact with Jennifer tomorrow. She will have to put an ad in the paper, a legal notice.
Okay.
Somebody wants to appeal, our decision.
14 days
They have
after.
15 days from
15
once
days.
the ad is placed in the paper. Once the 15 days is done, you can get your permits and you're off and running.
All right. So, just so I understand the process, so we can set up the finance aspect of it and get everything else we need. 15 days, and then we get the permit.
15, then you can, go,
Yeah.
get
Apply
your,
for the permit.
I can put the permit process.
you can continue with
I
the
can
process
chase it,
and
they
apply
can't
for it.
issue it until the 15th.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
After once it appears,
She has to-
it'll be in the Journal Enquirer.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
very good.
Thank you.
All right.
I was
Appreciate it.
reading in here about Frank Munier, the surveyor back in '72.
Oh, yeah.
Because we used to work with him.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What's funny, too, is Anna's aunt called me to
Yeah.
do an addition on her house or do some
Which
work.
one?
Munson. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I got
There's
to.
Teresa, because there's both sides of Munson, so that's.
Well, she said the name, and then I just mentioned
Robin.
she was asking
No,
about
it wasn't
like 203.
Robin,
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to picture her.
Which town? Summers?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe Annie.
Hang on. She's buying a house or something.
So it's probably Annie.
I think it was Annie.
No, she used to
Over on
live
Billings?
next door to me.
It's Anna's aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over on Billings. She's living right now in Billings, and
I think she's looking at buying a house. She was asking about 203 loans, like 203K loans or whatever.
Okay.
And I got these guys connected
Right.
through finance.
Annie used to live next door to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes.
But it was
With
funny
the
in
jag.
conversation. I'm
Oh, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
and I got them hooked up with financing through another customer on Sokol Road, and because banks are tough,
Oh,
they got their own ideas of this world, and so I haven't mentioned it. And she calls me, and I'm like, and I mentioned that the chain of product. She goes, on Durkee Road. I'm like, yeah. She mentioned the name. My niece Anna lives over there, and I'm like, Anna Fleisch. Yeah, that's my niece. And it all went together. And then when I was reading this map to you, I saw Munson on there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I get it all now.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, we're a big family. I'm like, that's cool.
You can't throw a stick in this town without
No.
hitting somebody.
Oh, my
It's really
God,
my
yeah.
wife.
Now, you're doing a lot up on Turnpike too, right?
My daughter,
Yeah.
Dan Ferrara's property there.
Yeah,
We went through
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Yep. And we got all that approved, and then with our shameful loss, or it can't be shameful, but our sad loss of Steve Jacobs
Oh,
retiring.
yeah, yes.
We shoehorned, which might have been part of the stress before Christmas. We got her septic in the
Oh,
week
yeah,
of Christmas. In all that nasty weather and everything
Yeah.
else, and Steve did the approvals.
Your Christmas tree lights
speaking
were
of,
still
that
on
was
tonight.
not bad, right? Their little gate and everything
Yeah.
she did over there.
Yeah.
Speaking of septics, any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Motion to approve the minutes of May 11th, 2021.
I'll second that. I'll just give them a once over.
Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passes unanimously. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you again, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very
Second.
much.
That's
And,
unanimous. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys-
Nobody's opposed, no abstentions. We adjourn at 7:25. Very good.
Good for
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
you.
And,
Thank you.
and I'm not schmoozing.